What is happening? I request that you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Popular Nigerian singer Banky W and his wife Adesua have come out to narrate how they lost their unborn twin babies. This was through a live talk interview where they came clean on how they had struggled on conceiving, and when it finally happened, they lost the kids. Watch.
We got married in 2017 and we had planned our lives out. We had talked about it and we're like, this is what is going to happen. Bam, bam, bam is going to happen. We're going to be so busy. Might as well just get the children out of the way. Let's do it now and just, let it come through. And then nothing happened. And then you try and nothing happened. And I remember having a conversation with Banky and I was like, let's go do IVF. And Banky was like, calm down. It hasn't even been a year. Give it a year. So a year came when it was 11 months and a couple of days. I was like, hey, how far? So it's been a year. Let's go try IVF. And we prayed about it. We did pray. And by the grace of God, still, we did get pregnant. And we got pregnant with twins.
But before we touch on that, I want you, if I can ask you a question.
Sure.
So in that first year, talk to us about dealing with disappointment.
Oh, right. Okay.
Every month.
Okay, so it was like a monthly disappointment. And anyone would tell you that when you want a child, even 1 month or 2 months seems like such a long time. Talk less of people that have waited for years and years. So it was constant disappointment, and trying to stay in the place of faith and knowing that you serve a God that doesn't lie and knowing that you serve a God that can do it. But for some reason, he's just really kind of slow, in your opinion. And it was really, really tough. We got pregnant with our son after 2.5 years. And I can tell you that every single day of those 2.5 years, someone trolled me. Every day. I couldn't have an opinion without someone saying, go and born. I couldn't say anything without someone saying, get out, go and have a child. You are barren. You did something with your womb. I heard all sorts. And every single time I heard that, I just went back to God and I said, Father, Lord, they know I serve you. First of all, I'd like to give a huge shout out to every single woman that has gone through IVF. I know what you have gone through. I have veins in my hands that no longer work. They're so traumatized. Every day, hearing one rumor or the other, people barren, making things up.
Your husband is impotent.
People saying that I've done,
something to your womb.
It was very hard. So
we got pregnant.
So we got pregnant, and we got pregnant with twins. And we had gone for the scans. We had seen the heartbeats. At this point, actually, very, very few people know when this happened. Every report that you have heard is a lie because nobody knew when it happened. And we saw the heartbeats. Everything was okay. And then during a routine checkup, we went back to the hospital to have a scan. And I just saw the doctor's face. You know when a doctor, I don't know how to explain it. When something is wrong, sometimes you can tell. And she was scanning, and I was like, what's wrong? She was like, oh, nothing, I'm just, And then I looked at the nurse's face, and she looked a bit funny too. And I was like, what's wrong? She was like, Adesua, I'm looking for the heartbeat. And I said, for 2 of them? And she said, yes. And I'm actually not going to lie, I started laughing because it didn't make any sense to me. I was just like, what do you mean you can't find the heartbeats of both? And she said, yeah. So
we
I went home. Banky wasn't home at the time. So I went home, and I remember being in our living room. When I was at the hospital, I actually laughed. I was like, God knows. God knows. Then when I got home, I literally collapsed on the floor and I wailed. Wailing is not the same thing as crying. Wailing is a deep groaning in your chest. It's like a knot that you can't get rid of. So we decided that over the weekend we were going to pray because God is a God that cannot do. There's nothing he cannot do. Impossible is nothing with him. So we're going to go back on Tuesday or Monday, I forget now, for a scan, believing that God will come through.
And Monday or Tuesday rolled around and we went back for the scan. And not only did we not see heartbeats, the embryos were shrinking. So they were decaying and they were dying. This was towards the end of the first trimester. And it was a tough time. But the day that we cried together was the day of the evacuation. An evacuation, for people that don't know, is when they remove the dead embryos. And we go to the hospital, we do the procedure, and Adesua is one of the strongest people that I know. But I had never seen her so frail and in so much pain, emotional and physical. And you know, for somebody like me whose love language is acts of service, is helping, is fixing the problem, there was absolutely nothing I could do at that time. And we came home from the hospital, and I remember I led her up the stairs, and we got into the couch. And I held her in my arms, and we cried. And I'll say it again, it's okay to cry. Amen?
All the best to them. Well, that is it for now. Thank you for watching. Remember to hit the like button and subscribe.